on here to that you're nothing but a chatty Cathy and you like to spread gossip. Because everybody says that in awareness, you guys state facts. But you're not. You're stating assumptions and you're stating what you think and your opinion. None of that's fact. Stick around, Jamie. You'll find out. So, I can assume some things are happening behind the scenes. I can't prove them, so they're not facts. It's just my gut feeling about a few things. But you know the difference between me and Just Stop Already and all you guys over there is I don't get on here and state my opinions as facts. Hey, Angel Eyes. Yeah, I posted that picture that I took, and you could see a stove behind it and a white Keurig, which Angela doesn't have a white Keurig. She has a black Instapot style, or it's Instapot brand style Keurig. Do y'all know that this is a fact? This is a fact, 100%. And yes, I'm being a smart butt about it. Cameras on the back of your cell phone can go anywhere that you go, and a picture can be taken anywhere you're at, as long as you have a camera on you. Fact. No, I wasn't even in my neighbor's room when I took that picture. I stopped by someone's place that I knew and was talking to them for a little while. That's your opinion, Maxine. That's not a fact. Because you can't prove that I'm lying. So it's your opinion, not a fact. See, I don't know the difference. Your opinion again, not a fact. Can I prove I'm not lying to squash the assumptions? They shouldn't be spreading something as a fact if it's an assumption when they call their self awareness, right? So this is what's going on. I took the picture of those meds to prove to everybody that I spent the money on my meds. And now all of a sudden, because you can see a stove and a little coffee spot behind it, thank you, hippie. Um, that we've been staying in a studio apartment, which we haven't, and it's $280 a week, which is not. But here's another fact for you people. Dora, if I felt safe enough to show my room, I'd be showing my face right now. So, if y'all can see how crazy people are going right now by an assumption that they know where I'm at, and first of all, just stop. You say all the time that it's not your concern where I'm at. Your concern is to stop people from helping me. Where's that concern today? because y'all been talking about where I'm at. So these people who are going crazy with exactly, Julius. But they keep talking about I'm in the studio and it's 280 a week, so they're concerned about where I'm at. Yeah, Jamie, it really is because we was at Emerald Inn and hadn't said where we was at, and somebody reverse searched the rooms until they found out where we was at and started making phone calls. So, and here's a fact for you. Here's a fun fact. Hotels charge it. They charge tax. And you know what else they charge? They charge a fee if you have a animal. That's a fact. I am needing help with the hotel room. Our hotel is $340. This will be the last week I paid $340 on it. Then it drops down to $304. Now, if I was lying about my room, why would I tell y'all that? Why would I enlighten everybody that this is my last week at 340 payment and it drops to 304? Sophie, because I've been here for 90 days, at that point after this payment, my next payment would be after the 90 days stay, and my taxes drop off. So the simple solution to prove that I'm not lying is for me to show them my room, but they have taken an assumption of where they think we're at and been talking about it and running with it. They've been talking about, they haven't just said where we're at, but they're sitting there talking about where we're at. Hey, Carl Berner, how are you doing? So, and they don't have the fact of it. They don't know where I'm at. So, how do they know how much my room is? Exactly, Shannon. If someone wants to help us out, what does it matter where the room is? And if I'm lying about the damn room, people, why would I sit here and tell all y'all that it's going to drop $36 after this week? Why wouldn't I just keep on telling y'all it was 340 and pocket that if I'm a liar? Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Don't have one in our room. No. That don't mean there's not other people who do. And let me tell you, I wish we could find a studio for 280 a week. But did anybody ever think that 280 a week plus taxes and then dog fees and stuff, how much that would come out to be? And then two people. Why didn't I share what, Sophie? I'm a little confused there. I'll let them talk. I mean, Sophie's been around for a minute, so I was trying to figure out what she was trying to say. I don't know that Sophie and Sadie. I didn't know them, but the other Sophie. I'm going to go back and unblock and unmute the other Sophie because the other one's name was Sophie and Sadie. I see what you're saying now. And then there was Sophie and Sadie, and then there was just Sophie who was asking a question. I got you. Yeah. Hey, Amber. Yeah, I see what you. I thought there was a Sadie, and then there was a Sophie, and I was just like, I was trying to figure out what. But then I realized you meant the person whose name was Sophie and Sadie, not Sophie M. If she wants to come back in here, I'll explain that to her. Hopefully, she will. I can explain it to her. Sophie, you got blocked by accident. There was a Sophie and Sadie in here that was being kind of rude, and there's a little confusion on the name, and you got hit. Sorry about that. I got you unblocked, unmuted. You was asking a question, you said something else, and I didn't see what it was because you got hit right before that. Hey, Jenny. But yeah, I mean, it's Thank you, Carl. Um, it's the fact that I have a mobile phone that I take with me everywhere, even though it's not working right now. I mean, it's working, but it's not on service plan right now. Wi-Fi is everywhere. I can use it on Wi-Fi everywhere I go. So I stop in somebody's spot. I snap a quick picture, and y'all just assume and then start spreading as facts that that's where we're at, and it's only 280 a week when y'all have no proof. No proof. And another thing that's it's been irking, and I don't need to be on this tight this way, but I kind of am right now, so we're going to stay on it. Listen, I don't know. You know the old saying, "Birds of a feather flock together." Um, I see that more and more as we're online. Um, oh, Carl, it's. Give me a second. I'll put you onto a backstory of what they used to do to us in Dyersburg, and you're going to be floored. Exactly, Shannon. How is it theft when somebody has made the decision to help? Anyway, the birds of a feather thing, I'm starting to see that more and more because it's like I don't know what y'all know about the law. I know enough to know that if God Mountain Love, I hope there is because it's taking a toll um, on both of our health. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, if I'm being investigated for something, nobody can just call up the local ADA and get all the information about my case. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but you know, if that's the case, then I could just if I was thought I was going to be in trouble, exactly. How would an ADA know where I'm working? And if an ADA was investigating me, Hey, mods. Yeah, there she is right there. I believe this source over everybody. Jenny from ABQ, block her, please. You're not going to go into other lives and talk trash about us and be seen. And then, yeah, thank you. Bet y'all $5 she comes back on her butter account. Want to know why? Exactly, roadkill. HIPAA laws. Hey, Jelly Bean Trucker. So, but when they posted over on the good old Reddit that I talked to the ADA, and the ADA has confirmed that Tim has no job. And then the birds of the feather, who at this time I'm beginning to say that the dodo bird is not extinct because they're a bunch of dodos. And that's putting it politely. They all got on there like, see, we knew it. We knew that. Thanks God to your ADA friend who's investigating them. Thank you, Jesse, for the finger hearts. Exactly. And ADA can't just give out information to anybody who calls. Thank you, Retha Ann, for the heart me. Thank you, Jesse, for the gifts. I don't know where we are on the rose. We're 141 on the rose count. But it's like a detective can't just give you out all the information about a case. So here's one or two things that's going on, and these are my assumptions. So they're not facts. I'm not speaking them as facts. I'm assuming that this is what's going on. Whether somebody is calling and lying and pretending to be somebody trying to get information, or they're lying and they have no information. Thank you, Jesse, for the 28 roses. Paulette, I stay confused in my life nowadays. But that was something else I've been wanting to address, and I've been kind of sitting on that. It's like no ADA, no detective, no police officer who's involved in the case is just going to exactly, Retha. They're not just going to open up and start telling people about a case because if that was the case, pun intended, if I'm being investigated, I could call and get all the information about it and have my defense. Right? I would know before if I had any inkling that I was being investigated. I could get ahead of it, right? So I 100% believe they are. And again, they say I act nonchalant about things that I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about. There you go, Julius. I'm not worried about. There you go. I'm not worried about them calling and turning me in for tax evasion and food stamp fraud because I turned all that stuff in. Yeah, Nita, they don't alert people that are being investigated, and they sure don't tell some stranger on the internet all about the case. So that's if you want to be one of the birds out of that flock, fine. If you want to believe that an ADA or, and I think it was, I'll just call their name out over there, Roddy Mama on there. If you want to believe that their mama, baby, daddy, cousin, twice removed, best friends, childhood heroes knows an ADA and they told them the information, then they are perfect for you over there. So, in Mountain Love, I have been telling them exactly why. I didn't put it out there for a little while because I didn't want to deal with the trolls and everything. But the people who has helped, they do have a right to know. Um, I've been spending every dime I can get my hands on. Besides asking for help here, this is going towards the room, but every dime that I make is going towards health issues. Amber, I don't know on that one. I don't know. I don't know where you was at on that. Hey, Grandma Jay, thank you for all the gifts. Appreciate them all. But that's kind of like if you're awareness, you're not supposed to assume. And Julius, I agree with you. And look, I've even sat down and said that I would have a sit down with this casting shade about Angela's health problems, and we go all the way and talk about when she had her cancer. I have no issue with that. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and talk to a bunch of people who's already got me pinned as a liar, and no matter what I say, they're going. I'm lying before I even start say the first word. So exactly. Medical things are private, and some of them I was keeping private because we still don't know what's going on with her. We don't. I would love to come over here and be like, guys, guess what? We know what's going on and we got a plan. I'd love that. We don't right now. You know, to me, a friend and someone who's there for you will ask you, and if you tell them it's private, they respect that, but they're still there for you. Julius, I have had them tell me, post her medical records, and we'll leave you alone. Post her medical records.
I got one even better. Um, Whenever I was in the hospital in Dyersburg for my stomach for the cellulitis, uh, somebody actually called the room phone and posed
as a pastor,
as the pastor that was over the church. That you know how they had the little churches there in the hospitals. They posed as that pastor, and then finally came out and started talking crazy and calling me all kind of awful names while I am in the hospital sick.
Well, they asked, "Do you want me to pray for you?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And it was like, then the next words was, "I pray you don't make it out of the hospital, you fat bitch."
I say I didn't want to say what, but they called me a whore, all kind of stuff.
And this is when she's in the hospital with her cellulitis. So, but yet yet the hey Amanda, but yet some creators in that community condone that stuff by any means necessary, right? Amanda aggravated about a lot of stuff, stressed about a lot of stuff, had a long, horrible week. Um, so yeah, but and hey, we took pictures at the hospital too. It doesn't mean I live at the hospital. I've taken pictures at Walmart. That doesn't mean I live at Walmart. So yeah, it really is roadkill. It really is. I tell you right now, I'd give anything not to be on here today and enjoying the day with Angela, watching TV, fix us a good meal after a while. You know, fire up Fry Malone. That's what I named my air fryer. Me other Wingo, and y'all can go look on our page. I posted a screenshot where they had talked about we've been waiting all day long for you to come on. We've been waiting, and I'm like, it's not healthy. It's Sunday. I'm gonna be on for a while today, trying to get help for our room, and hope that there's a little extra there to get us something to eat because right now there's nothing to eat. Grandma Jay, we have the room for the night, and that's it. That's it. Tonight's our last night, and we have to pay it for the week. Hey, Storm. So it's like that's the scenario we're in. Last Sunday, at least we had sausage and some waffles to fix. This Sunday, we don't have anything. We got a little bit on Monday to get a few groceries on, and then our payout on Wednesday to get a little something on, and then a little help from a few friends in between that to get us to where we was at this morning with finishing up. Angela had a grilled cheese, and I had a couple of leftover pieces of chicken. Pure blood, I would definitely appreciate that. But I tell you, anything that's sent to me right now is at this point it's going to go towards the room. The room's got to come first, and if you sent 50 for that, it would definitely go. It's definitely going to go towards help. It sure is, ain't it? I didn't catch that one. Pure Blood 292. Well, now I'm really confused. Hey, Green Wave, I'm confused on it because like they had more followers than you, and say they do stuff like that too. Because $50 going towards the room would have made a huge difference. Had to started us on the right trail. You know, Well, I sure didn't catch that once I looked back. I didn't see the badge after I looked back. All right, Wingo. If anybody can help with anything going towards the room, guys, hey, Deborah. And these setups, 100% setups. Hey, Linda Lou. Don't block Linda Lou, guys. Um, I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Thank you, Grandma J, for the heart puffs. Deborah, unfortunately, it's the same amount as always, 340. This is the last week. It's 340 though. We're going to drop down to 304 in our payments. So, and again, if I was lying about money, why would I tell everybody there's almost a $40 drop in the pay? Why wouldn't I just, you know, it's like I don't understand. Like, the taxes drop off after we've been here for a little while. Hey, Jesse, will you DM me? But it's like, why would I tell people that if I was lying and just here to get more money? You know, we've done drop from 364 to 340. Why wouldn't I just left it at there you go. I do have a lot of good people in here, and I'm blessed for everyone to come through the door. Uh, but like I was saying, like it was 360, and now it's 340, um, and it's going to drop down to 304. If I was lying and just wanted the money, why would I even mention that it dropped? Exactly, Julius. It's like, why would I sit here and continue to tell you guys, hey, this much for this week. It's going to be this much in the next coming weeks. Well, why not just, you know? Now, Linda, people will assume that you just sent 60, so um, she hasn't sent anything yet. I just want to clear that up. Because people will just assume that you sent it, and then later on, if I'm still sitting here with nothing, they'll be like, well, she sent you 60 and you're lying about it. So, what a name that was. Was they advertising for somebody? All right, Linda. But it's like that was my main question to. It's like if I'm lying and stuff, why am I sitting there constantly saying, "Hey, this is what it's going to be the next week"? Michigan Kitty, it sucks. It really does. Uh, and I can't wait for the day that I don't have to. I can't wait for the day that we just get on here and finally hit 25,000 roses. You know, that's the running joke with the chat now is 25,000 roses. Um, I have been dead serious in the past when I say if awareness truly wants me gone, throw some money together and um, buy me, send me away, send me on a cruise. Hey, Kayla, Arfus. So you think Linda Lou is Angela? I guess. Okay. Well, Michigan Kitty will definitely be saying some prayers for you and everything. I know that's rough. Now look, unless you just want it to be at 9,999, I'm gonna shoot you a follow and be your 10,000 follower. Oh wait a minute. Yeah. Renee. I did hear about the new virus. Linda Lou, will you message me one more time? I missed it at the top of the screen. And God, I ain't been called tiny since high school.
God.
Yeah, they think Linda is. They think a lot of people are Angela. So thank you for the heart me. Oh, Angelo. Yeah, I think it's Angelo. Amber, you think I'm Angela? Amber says I think Tim is Angela. LOL. I don't want to leave the live to go answer that message. So if Linda Lou is in earshot, usually I can catch it at the top. I might have said Angelo. Who knows? Julia said I just called him his governor, and he said Linda Lou is not Angela. I just spoke with an ADA, and the ADA said that 100% Linda Lou is not Angela. So, thank you for the heart me. Thank you, Grandma J, for the gifts. Appreciate them.
Next on Lori. Linda Lou.
It's wild.
Today, Lord Judge Mathis.
Jilly from Philly. I had to fight the urge to say it. No, I did not see your question. Could be getting filtered. Every time they come on is like, Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio. I'm from Uma. I'm sorry. I fought it all I could. I couldn't. I couldn't fight it any longer, Jilly. I know what it. She'll pop in and I say that. And she's like, "You say that every time I come in here," and I was just like, I was trying not to, but it's just. Some things I have to say. It's like when you say, something I ain't had in a long time.
Oh.
Angela will go, something I haven't had in a long time? And my answer every time to that question for the last 30 years has been Big League Chew.
One day I caught you off guard, though.
You bought me a pack of Big League Chew.
They just so happened to have it in Dollar Tree.
That and that stupid cider joke. Kayla says, hey.
Hey.
Have y'all ever heard the stupid cider joke? Oh, yeah, Julius, I tell you, I didn't play baseball when I was little, but I was a football player. And we had it on the sideline, the Big League Chew. But she'll sit there and say, you know what I ain't had in a while? And my answer is always going to be Big League Chew. And then if we're out and I see apple cider, yeah. It's like the flavor leaves Big League Chew as it's coming from the pack to your mouth. It's getting flavorless. And her and my buddy both will be sitting there and they're just like, good God, here he goes. Like they'll turn the jars around hoping I don't see them. I'm like, hey guys, I've always heard that if you smash your finger, you should soak it in cider. And both of them just go, it's just my stupid, apple cider joke that I've got to make. It is what it is. I'm wired with dad jokes. Oh, apple cider. Jilly from Philly, if you're still in here, I still haven't seen your question. Sorry about that. Linda Lou, if you're still around, I seen your question. It was sent to me, but I can't answer the DM. I can't go pull it back up. And Angela does not have TikTok on her phone. She 86'd it. I don't blame her. All for still good awareness for everybody who's listening to me, who's ever streaming me. If you want to take claim to be the one who made Tim and Angela leave TikTok, $400 a day. And it's yours. You just got to let me get some connections made with some good friends on here. Green Wave, she's been having a rough week. She really has. Like all week long, it's been rough on her. Exactly, Julius. There's a handful of you guys that I want to, and I need to be doing it now. Like Facebook. That way we can talk on Messenger. And no, not ask for money on the back end or none of that stuff, but just actually, Julius, how much have we just talked this week? And there's several other people. It's like, I care about these people, Roadkill. I want to hear when he's finally getting to go home. Jelly Bean. I want to hear some good news from her. Jelly Bean Trucker. Of course, some of y'all I'm already in contact with outside the app, but and that's just named some just right off the top of my head. Tustown, Connie. What, we already talk. Jesse, they know. We know me and you have that love affair. You're driving 14 hours one way to see me. We all know if you was driving 14 hours to come down here to see anybody, it would be to see Angela. But it's like, I need to reach out to you guys and be like, hey, let's get on Facebook, because be honest with you, I've enjoyed the conversations with Julius this week, but a couple of them, I hated opening up the app to even get to. Like, I hated opening up the app to go to my DMs to read a message that a friend sent me, because I knew there was going to be 20 other messages there about all the crap that's being said about us. So, all right, Grandma Jay. Yeah, Julius, I'm on Facebook. I'm like that. I don't use Facebook that much anymore, but I use Messenger to talk to people more than anybody. Thank you, Grandma Jay, for the gifts. Guys, I'm going to mute y'all for 1 second. I do have to run to the restroom. I know I got my mods in here to watch the door. Y'all doing a lovely job today, too. Thank y'all so much for being in here. Whew, okay, I'm back, and I feel better now. But guys, if anybody can help us with anything going towards the room, anything at all would help. Papa, just join the room. Benjamin Buttons. That's weird because I call Benjamin. It's I tell you, this has been a very long week. Papa, it has kicked my rear end twice, and it's kicking my rear end again. So that's where I'm at this week. It's been health issues for both of us, up and down. My stomach is giving me some problems out of this world. It's like I'm sure 90% of mine's from stress. So it's not really. Not really, because then we're adding the stress of no supper and no money for the room this week. on top of all the other stress that we've been dealing with, her health, my health, and just life in general. You know, I know everybody gets that. Everybody gets that. So it's just, I never feel like it stops. I don't. It just, it is a 24/7 ordeal. When I'm here, I'm trying to take care of everything that I can. And then when I'm not here, I'm worried about everything. So it's that situation. Like I'm worried about Angela when I'm not around her. Then when I'm here, I'm trying to do stuff for her and make sure everything's done. And then I end up just getting exhausted. And then when it's time to go to sleep, the whole day is in my head. Well, this happened, that happened. This is coming up. This is coming up. That's, it's just, and Julius, it causes me stress everywhere. It's like I can just go outside and sit down just to breathe, and I'm worried, you know, about what's going on inside. Like, okay, did she get up and go to the bathroom and her legs give out on her? Has she, she's, and I'm not complaining, but just kind of like an insight. Like my life is based around her health. I don't want to make her feel bad, but I think she knows that already. If she's feeling bad, I don't care what I've got planned to do that day; it gets canceled. Um, Even when we was in Dyersburg, if she felt bad, didn't want to go to the gym with me and stuff, well, it ain't no big deal. I can stay home today. So that's kind of it's kind of my world. So, and then this is nonstop. It's nonstop. TikTok, it's nonstop. Jersey girl, I wished I knew the answer to that. Um, Thank you, Julius. That was a very nice thing to say. Queen Bee, not too good. To be honest with you, not too good. So But Triple G, I definitely have. But my biggest problem is I'm still learning to put it in his hands and let it go. Um, Lady Junie, I'm not for sure what you're saying there. So it's kind of like I'm still having that issue. I'm still learning how to pray and trust the process. And I pray and I get up every morning and I read my Bible verses on my phone um, and I pray and I feel pretty good. And as the day goes on, I start stressing more and stressing more and stressing more. And then I'm forgetting the part of, okay, well, the Lord's got me. So it's like, it's just, yeah. But I know things could be worse, things could be better. That's my biggest struggle and it's I've been pretty open about that too. It's like um, about that's my big struggle with, and it's still to this day. It's like I read my Bible verses, my daily devotional, and I catch myself getting more into the worry that um, I catch myself getting into the worry about things that I can't control. So I know that, Queen Bee. I know that, but if someone can tell me how not to worry about stuff, and I know praying and giving it to the Lord, and you're supposed to give it to Him and not worry about it, but if someone can tell me how not to, or if someone can teach us how not to worry about stuff, that person is going to be a rich man because they could sell that to everybody. Find a pack of crackers. Can I have one of them crackers? Oh, good crackers. I'm definitely trying to. Like I've got one friend that is, man, I I envy his relationship with the Lord. I really do because man, nothing bothers him. Um, I was standing there with him one day, and they said, not to get too deep into his business, but somebody, was like, "Hey, this is $1,200, and we need it by Friday." He didn't have it. Okay, Kerry. But trusted in the Lord, and he went on with his life, and he went on his daily routines, and it was there when he needed it. Got one more of them crackers to spare. On that jailhouse diet today, crackers and water. That's true. That is true. Hey, Bethany. I think sometimes too, it's just like getting this loop. Thank you for the heart me. It's just I need to dive more in. I do. I do like that, Julius. And I say this all the time too, because uh, it's the dad answer when somebody goes, "How you doing?" I mean, I can't complain. How many times a day do we hear that when you have somebody out there doing? But every time I say that, I think about my grandmother. Um, she used to say, "Don't complain about it, pray about it." It's one of the few things I remember from her. And I was just, and then I catch myself saying that to people, and I'm just like, "Yeah, you done with them?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not complaining about them, I'm stressing about them. So don't stress about it, pray about it. That's what I need to start doing." She saved me a few crackers. Not right now. Just sorry, y'all. I'm doing my breaking one of my rules on here. I'm eating these crackers while I'm on here. You know, right? I do need to put it in the Lord's hand. So I'm gonna tell you, I can tell multiple stories right now about times where he showed up. I didn't think he was going to. The room is $340. That covers it for the whole week. I'm asking for any help to get me to the $340 goal. If anybody can help with anything at all towards it, I'm not asking one person to pay it all. That's what I'm asking for. I mean, I don't have nothing to give. You know, that's thank you, Jeremy, for the ice cream cones there. We've almost got 50 cents worth of gifts. People think people get rich off gifts, but they really don't. I mean, some do, but some don't. Not these, not small creators. Yes, I am. We do need food too, Renee. But like I said, right now the room's the most important. Um, it's kind of the take out what is the most important, and then go from there. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, Papa. Because my money is covering medical bills for my wife right now. So, and her medical stuff is a have to thing. Can't put off. I don't have insurance. Uh, so that's where this week, that's where 100% of the check went. Okay, to be transparent with everybody, like I always say that I am. Um, Thank you for the gifts there, Jeremy. Right now, we need 325. That is a hotel cost. Just I don't know why she can't get on Medicare. We've been in a hotel off and on for the last 2 years. There has been times where we have stayed in a car. No, Jennifer, I did not. Always, that was kind of the plan. um, we did one test. Uh, the upfront payment on the test was around 280. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Appreciate y'all. Um, and she had to get a new med because the one they put her on a couple weeks ago wasn't working. Okay, just well, y'all tell me how come she doesn't have it since y'all are experts on Medicare. I mean, because I filled it out online and in the office. But she's about a week and a half away from insurance from work. So yeah, and they all came out at one time. Thank you, Jeremy, for all the gifts for the laughing tacos and stuff. Appreciate everything, guys. All the double tapping and everything. We're still 220 or 325 away from. I wish it was 225. I really do. Jersey Girl, the tests are it's kind of being a have to scenario. Um, so it's just I wish stuff could be put off like that, but sometimes I can't. And when I took her to the ER, they told her to go see her. They treated her, got her stable, was what they called it. Um, Not unemployed, Susan. I don't care what you think, Christian. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. You're not in this situation. You're not. You're not. You don't know the situation. So, I mean, I honestly 100% don't care if that's your outlook on it. Tracy, you can go with her too. Go ahead and block Tracy. You're not going to sit there, not in my situation, and tell me what's more important than what's going on. And always, that sucks. You shouldn't have to choose that. I mean, it sucks. It really does. You know, it's our good old country. So it's just, and listen, I'm not judging your situation, how you're doing yours at all. You shouldn't be judged for how you're doing them. I'm doing it the way I think it should be done in my situation. Um, and like I said, until someone lives in someone else's situation, they don't know how they would handle it. When you're sitting there watching someone who can't even get comfortable enough to get a good night's sleep because of the swelling that's going on around their waist. You know, and you're sitting there watching them go through all these day to day issues. Yeah, I get it always, I do. Um, Going through these day to day things that they usually could do, but now they're having issues bending over and picking something up out of the floor. You know, it's you see somebody, you sitting there and they're your whole world, and they're sitting there in pain over everything. You better put in earbuds. You're gonna be crying in a minute. Yeah. All right? So yeah, it's this trucker. That's horrible too. When she was first supposed to have her hysterectomy done, um, Dyersburg Hospital called us in. She had done went and did the whole pre-surgery stuff and filled out all the information. And the day before the surgery, they was like, "Well, we've got you lined up for the surgery. We just need to clear up the payment." That we had heard nothing about since. Since we got going, it was just like, "Yeah, well, the payment is going to be we need 30% up front." And I'm like, Okay, 30% of what? Because that's just all they told me was 30% up front. And the girls, she will give me 1 second, I'll give you a total. And she sits back and she goes, and this is a person who worked for the hospital, and she goes, our damn system, the way it's set up is a shame. She said 30%, she's going to need just a little bit over $18,000 up front. Floored. Absolutely floored. And this is when we was doing better off. I didn't have $18,000 in the checking account. You know, I was working. We had our own place. I didn't have that. Praise the Lord Baptist Memorial in Memphis. She was having a full hysterectomy. That was the down payment they wanted at the Dyersburg Regional Medical Center. That was the 30% down payment they wanted. They was quoting me at over $60,000 for her surgery and her stay. That was what, 2014? Mm-hmm. Then 2014. And the way, double blessed, the way Dyersburg was going to do the surgery was insane. They was wanting to make an incision on her left side that went clear across her stomach below her belly button to her right side. And then from that point, they was going to come up. It was make a big L is what they was doing. And they was wanting to come up to her chest and basically fold her back and do the surgery. Small town girl, you can kiss my rear end. Yeah, well, she ended up going to Baptist Memorial in Memphis, Tennessee. She told that doctor how they was going to do it, and he was like, "Oh, why?" Shelby, this was 12 years ago, 2014. So she goes down there, and he was just, I don't understand why. He was like, "I'm gonna make 5 1-inch incisions across your stomach, and we're going to go in with these little robotic arms." And he's like, I don't know why Dyersburg was wanting to peel you back. He's like, that's something more for like a transplant. He's like, I don't know why. And they was a lot cheaper. See, if people would shut up and listen to the full story instead of just jumping straight to telling me I'm a liar, like Small Town Girl did. Memphis was what? Total price, overnight stay, was a little bit over 12 grand. Yeah. See, if that small town girl would have just shut up and listened to the whole story instead of jumping in and calling me a liar. So Baptist Memorial did it cheaper and ran her through the charity base and got the surgery done through that. And let me say this, because they've done took this story 2 or 3 times and said it all wrong. Refunded me the money that I paid them for the office visits before the surgery. I paid for 3 office visits, and they refunded me the money because she went through and got the charity thing. So, but see, that's why you should listen to a story to the end of it, ladies and gentlemen, instead of jumping in the middle of it, stating your facts. Julius, your guess is as good as mine. But I'm a firm believer that it was definitely God's intervention that they stepped in and was going to charge that much because she went to a better hospital, had it done by a better doctor, a better procedure, just all the way around better experience. Um, so they was basically going to cut you open the same way they cut Daddy open for his gallbladder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right about that, Julius. You are right about that. But guys, we are still a long ways off from getting the room pulled together. Exactly, Julius. That's what I was saying to Triple G, our buddy that came here earlier and was talking. It's like, that's my thing. It's like, I just, um, you know, just absolutely, um, I lost my train of thought when I got reading everything. Seriously, right in the middle of it. Oh yeah, the whole thing. He popped in there and reminded me where I was talking. Is the being patient and waiting. It's like I've struggled hard with that. Jesse, I think you're frying. You're flying solo. You're flying solo right now. I don't think Carrie has stepped back in yet. That's fine though. I haven't seen Shelby today. That's the truth there. Okay. I knew she stepped out earlier. I didn't know if she was still in here. Linda Lou, you messaged me and I couldn't get the answer to you in the DM because I would have to um, stop the live. I seen it, but I didn't catch it enough time at the top. And I tell you guys this too. There's so many setups happening. There's so many setups happening. It's crazy. Well, Linda Lou, if you could send that, I can give everybody a total about how much we need. I definitely appreciate you. But as of right now, we only have $15 towards the room. I can't count anything towards the room until it's physically in my possession. Um, so, and I seen where you messaged me earlier. I just didn't get to click on it in time to answer it back. I'm going to address one of the setups here in just a brief second. Well, they're coming out of the woodwork now, ain't they? Believe me, if you don't know, that's the best way to keep it is not knowing. I'm going to speak on one setup that happened. And just to show, and this is just, listen, this is the way I look at it. Okay, 100%. If you ask a thirsty man if they want a drink of water, they go say yes. You ask a hungry man if he needs something to eat, he's going to say yes. Hey, you want this cheeseburger? Yeah, they're going to eat that cheeseburger. Right? You ask someone who's needing financial help if they need some financial help, they're going to say yes. To use that on the back end to DM me and using the whole, well, don't tell nobody because I don't want the hate. I get that a lot. I really do. People help us on the backside. People help us at the end of lives, and they're like, hey, I don't want my name given out. And I get that 100%. We'll never tell that name. But when you, the old saying, turn around and crawfish me, I don't respect an agreement I made with you anymore. Had somebody come on the live, talk to me, and then go into the DMs and talk to me. Hit me up first about offering help. Offered to pay our phone bill. Offered, and see, this is where you know things get too good. This is where I can pick out. I'm starting to pick out. It was after the phone call. He wanted to talk. My phones are off. Well, how do we talk? We talked on Facebook Messenger for 20 minutes. It's supposed to have been me begging him for money for 20 minutes, but it was a 20-minute phone call of him telling me how many baseball players he knew, how many famous people he hangs out with, threatening me that if his name got out there that it would be bad for my life. And it was a recycled. And then, we've got to get. I'm gonna help get you out of this situation, buddy. I'm gonna help get you out of this situation. Get off the phone with him. He goes, "Give me a couple of minutes. I'm gonna send you $25, or a couple of hours," is what he said. Give me a couple of hours. I'm gonna send you $25. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Text him and asked him if he was okay because it was like 5 hours later. Text him again, asked him if he was okay. Text him the next day. None of these texts, they're all on my page if y'all want to go check this out. None of these texts asked him a thing about the money. I was asking him if he was okay because he just dropped off. He said, yeah, I'm good. I got sick with COVID all of a sudden and had to go to the hospital. I was like, man, that sucks. Or, you can see the whole conversation. Yeah. I asked him, was he still going to be able to send the 25 that he told me he was going to be sending? That way I could figure out what direction I needed to go in, because that was going towards getting us a few groceries. And if he wasn't going to be able to send it because he was sick, that's fine. Hey, it's fine. I understand it 100%. But he also told me that was a burner page he had too. I wish I know it's illegal, but I'm going to start telling people I'm recording their phone calls. If I don't know you, I'm going to let you know beforehand I'm recording your phone call. And if you're not all right with that, we don't have a phone call. But anyway, the whole spiel about the names and this, that, and the other, and I'm going to help you get out of this situation. And he was like, yeah, I do follow this awareness. And he talked about top 4 waves like she was an absolute dog on the phone call. And then took the whole conversation and went straight to awareness like he was planning on doing from the get-go. Because it was a setup. A setup of someone coming into my live and telling this sad story about how they just lost their husband. And they didn't have anybody to turn to. And we welcomed them into the chat. We talked with them. We prayed with them. Several people in this chat prayed with that woman. I'm telling you, prayed on the back end. Sent her messages, typing out prayers for her. Like, hey, this is the prayer that I'm saying for you right now. Everything on that page was awareness. It was all sent to see if I would take advantage of a recently widowed woman in hopes that I would ask them for money and they can run back and say, oh, this woman just lost her husband and Tim's asking her for money. There's another one taking place right now. 100% is taking place right now. Now, I don't know if anybody's telling these people to go do this. I can't say that with facts. That would just be an assumption of mine. But somebody's figuring these setups out to be able to send back to awareness. One of them, let me tell you about this one. Created a whole person that was supposed to be terminally ill that offered me help. And then after they offered me help, that's when they came up with this story about, I got 4 weeks to live. I got 6 weeks to live. I ain't got but 2 weeks to live. I done called my daughter in tonight. It was just all over the place. Oh, I'm still going to help you. Just remind me. Why would you make something up like that? To make me look bad? And again, I'm not saying any group directed these people to do that. I'm not. I'm not saying any awareness group, any commentary group, any watch parties, whatever y'all want to justify yourself as being. Has directed these people into doing that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying these people were doing it. And they're running right to awareness. and they're telling these stories to awareness, and awareness is just posting them and like, see, okay, let's bust out where it came from. Let's tell the whole truth. The truth just isn't a part of the story that makes you look good. Right? If I tell you I'm telling you the truth, but I only tell you the part of the stories that makes me look good, I'm not telling you the truth. I'm telling you a summarized portion of what happened. Awareness is a certain group. Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying that it was awareness. Jesse, you're still in here, ain't you? Okay. Yeah. Um, and again, I'm not saying, let me stress this very, very hard so it cannot be turned around and said any other way. I'm not accusing any awareness creator, group, any group of them that branches off from awareness. I think it's like a family tree now. Your watch parties, your crash out parties, your this party, your commentary and comedy stuff, whatever they want to call themselves. I'm not saying none of those people said, "Hey, go do this." But people who watch them are the ones who doing it. They're the ones who are doing it. And some of them want so desperately to be a part of that. Exactly, Triple G. But apparently, I message everybody on the back end for money. If you've ever spoke to me and said one kind word to me, I message you on the back end for money. Here's that part of the truth that doesn't make me look good. Yeah, I've asked people on the back end for money. I have. I have. Multiple occasions. We've been in a tight. I've asked. I don't think I've ever denied that. I don't ask everybody if you've helped me. Yeah, I've asked. Exactly. But I can state this fact too. I don't get mad if someone don't give it to me. I don't. Hey, Betty. Triple G, you might be the wisest one of us all. Exactly. Jesse, I've asked Jesse, hey, can you $5 or $10 for me to get something? And she wouldn't have it. And Jesse's one of my favorite people to talk to. Yeah. Betty, we are still needing $325. We're still a very, very long ways off from covering the room. And then anything that overflows from the room goes directly towards buying us something for food. So it's kind of the goal is to at least get the room covered. So at some points in my life, I feel like the end of 8 Mile, where the final battle's going on and Rabbit goes first and he just puts out all this information because he knows what the person is going to say about him. And he's like, here, tell these people something they don't know about me. I feel like that sometimes. Yeah, exactly, Triple G. And at the end, that's all that matters. You can have $1,000,000 or no dollars. You ain't taking none of it with you. And you ain't buying nothing in heaven with it. That's for sure. And it's not gonna barter your way out of punishments in hell. That being, hey Temple, if I ask anybody for help, like I'm asking right now for help, if you can't, you can't. That's fine. If you won't, you won't. That's fine. If you do, thank you so much. If you don't, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in and just talking, praying with us, praying for us. But it's like I'm to the point to where it's like I get so tired of hearing these stories about me that it's not even nowhere true. And then I get so tired of people telling me I'm lying about something that's happened to me in my own life. So it's like you fight back, but that's what they want. They want to fight back because if I just come on here and I ignore them completely, Triple G, I'm gonna be using that the rest of my life. Never seen a banker put someone's money in their coffin. I love that. But it's just like that's like the whole deal with this girl that happened a year ago, and they sit there and banked on that. They knew they would bring it back up. Or a hearse pulling U-Haul. There you go. It's just I didn't see clips from that whole live, but I seen clips where it wasn't even her telling the story. It was one of the awareness people telling the story, and they had so much stuff wrong. So much stuff wrong. But again, ahead of that story, I told the whole story. Right? Even a couple of parts that didn't make me look all that great, I didn't leave out. So it's like, how am I the one who gets dragged through the mud as being the liar and being all these different things when I'm telling parts of stories that doesn't paint me in the brightest picture? I could agree with them over there, and they would shuffle around trying to figure out how to change the story. But hey, if it's all about keeping someone else from getting, and y'all can't see the hand motions, but from getting ripped off or taking advantage of by me, y'all have a way to stop it. Take these big gift monies y'all getting that y'all recycle back. Take up a collection for all the people who don't want to see or hear, because you don't see my face, you hear me on this app. Sure, y'all can work together, but it's not about stopping people from getting taken advantage of. It's about having something y'all can come on here and talk about to make money on. Plain and simple. Gotten a little sidetracked. I feel like sometimes I just got to stand up for myself. Yeah, it's like they want me gone. The price is $400. $400. Brag about how many people y'all have in there and everything. Hey, get everybody to send y'all $1. All right? Exactly, Julius. They don't want us gone. They want to look like they want us gone. So they look righteous in what they're doing. So these people who follow them around like sheep will keep following them around, and they look relevant online because they've never done anything else online to look relevant. I haven't done anything on here to look relevant. We tried to make content a few times. We tried to make a funny video and it would get 2 likes, 10 views. None of y'all would even know who I was if awareness would have left me alone. There's no way in this world I'd have, me and Angela would have 9,200 people on this following us. We wouldn't. You know, they live for it. They won't say they don't, but go look at Reddit all week long. We don't care if he gets on or not. Really, go look at our page and look at where they made a post about, hey, we're waiting for you. Where have you been? If anybody can help us with anything going towards the room, guys, we'd appreciate it. Anything at all. Exactly, Julius. They're still constantly posting. They've made other videos about us. They send these people in to set us up, so they have content. They set on old videos for almost a year before bringing them back up. Because when they don't have nothing, that's what they do. I mean, right now, how many streaming us out there? Feel free to mention who you're on here from. If you see us out there, you won't get blocked. Go ahead. Because I know JSA and Matilda's watching because they keep trying to pull my string. I don't know if Dre's got me streaming or not. I don't know if Snark does. What's up, Kick? How you doing? So if anybody can help us with anything going towards our hotel room, guys, we are in some very desperate situation this week. I can't wait to come over here and tell you guys that we're not in a desperate situation. Hey, Sandra. And we don't have to ask for anything and still get harassed probably. But But anybody can help us with anything at all. Shay's petty. Do you not want to see me anymore on here? Just wondering because your comment there. Do you not want to see me or content like this? Because there's an easy way to get rid of that. For one, is not going into the live and commenting because then it tells your algorithm this is the type of content you want to see. The surefire way not to see it is to go up there and hit that little button that says block this creator. You do that. Exactly. You know, but I'll make it easy for you. The ones who come in here and they're like, "Oh God, I see so much of this," because that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. You're not just scrolling through TikTok and running across 100 people sitting here asking for money, or asking for help, or asking for food, or asking for gas. You're not, because I scroll through TikTok. But now I can easily go and go into one. Uh, Thank you, Triple G. I can go into to an awareness live and comment on it, follow that creator, and then guess what? My algorithm's going to show me that. I stopped 2 nights ago and watched a gumball video. Thought it was a tattoo video. Honest with you guys, the guy turned it and he was like, "Can you get for six? What did he get with 6 gumballs?" And I was like, "God, he's getting 6 tattoos." But it was knives and axes and stuff like that. And I was just like, "Oh wow, that's cool." And guess what? My algorithm has been showing me like crazy. People purchasing these orders for these mystery gumballs sets. They're pretty cool sets, but it's like I watched that video, I gave it a heart, and I moved on, and then an hour later, that's most of my TikTok. I stopped and watched that kid Damascus play his guitar, and for 2 weeks, that's all I was getting was guitarist. Exactly, Triple G. So it's like it's almost like too like, and I've said this before. How many of y'all would have ever known me? Exactly, Sandra. Exactly. How many of y'all would have ever known me if y'all wouldn't have seen an awareness person streaming me? I've gotten more traffic from that than I ever did by myself. They reposted a video, they've streamed me, and people come over and check it out. And next thing you know, they're following me because they want to see everything and this, that, and the other. And it's just like, Julius, every once in a while, I mess my algorithm up. I did it on YouTube one day. Um, and Lord, my YouTube was perfect. It was perfect. and Angela was wanting to watch Reba, and she watched it on my YouTube. Didn't think nothing about it. She pulled it up, watched it on YouTube. She couldn't find it on TV, and then I had so many different things for TV shows after that. So I had to sit there and go back through and watch my motivational videos, the wrestling, there's a guy on there that he does, he calls it fast flips. He does watches. His name is Vukum. I like watching him. There's another guy who buys and sells watches and gold and all that. I like watching his stuff. But I had to go back and rewatch all of that just to get my algorithm back up. Because I watched a couple of videos that wasn't. She ain't beating you guys, I promise. She was fluffing her pillow. But it's just like, people just, it's like they don't understand. Yeah, it's like Angela's algorithm right now is what dumpster hauls, coffee stuff. That's always on there. I don't care.
Dollar Tree haul.
Yeah, Dollar Tree hauls. Yeah. When I tell you guys, Tanya, you said that. When I tell you guys that movie, The Wrestler, with Mickey Rourke in it, is that movie is spot on the truth about aging in the wrestling business. And the realest scene I've ever seen in a movie was in that movie. When it starts and the promoter walks up to him and gives him his envelope, he says, "Hey man, the door is short a little bit." Because he looked at his money. He was like, "Hey, this ain't all my money." Yeah, that's a strong line too. But it's like, that's truth. I have been in so many locker rooms, and we're there, and we're guaranteed a $200 night payoff, and the promoter walks up and he gives you the envelope, and you open it up, and it's 120, and he's just like, "Hey man, the door was soft, so that's what it is. What you get." And I've wrestled in them small places like he was going to, but I've also seen the big stars who used to be a big star. And you have too, huh?
Yeah.
Come through these little places, and they're just so delusional because they can't get out of that mentality that they was a huge star. The roughest one I ever seen like that was Rikishi. It's called The Wrestler. Rikishi could not get out of his head that he was not a huge star anymore. So he was very bad attitude. Yes, I am, Sandra. I'm going to be on for quite a while, hoping I get some help with this room. Unless a miracle happens in the next few minutes and someone sends me all of it, I'll probably be on till late. So, yeah, what you see with Rikishi talking about how he's getting mad because his son didn't carry the belt long enough. It's true. Just a Girl. Let me tell you now, it's not a family friendly movie. I'll say that. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know if you got kids. I don't know how you raise your kids. Some parents don't care if their kids watch a movie that's got language in it. This has got a lot of language. A lot of the scenes are shot in a strip club. There's rug references in it. It's if I had a kid, I wouldn't let my kid watch it. By all means, people, have different parenting styles and would let their, some might let a kid watch that. I wouldn't. So, but that is so true though. And the relationship between wrestlers and strippers is so true because they live the same lifestyle. Um, Carlos Colon he may still own it, I'm not for sure, owned the biggest wrestling promotion in Puerto Rico, but he also owned the biggest strip club franchise in Puerto Rico. And he would put you up in a house. It was like an apartment building, really. And the strippers was on the first floor, and then the wrestlers was on the second. And they all hung out and everything. What you doing, babe? You taking normal? Okay. So it was. It does. I'm lucky. I'm lucky that. I'm lucky that Angela. She went to a lot of shows with me. She toughed out the road with me. She understood that I was chasing a dream. She understood I was chasing a dream like I'm chasing this $325 that we still need help with, guys. If anybody can help us with anything at all going towards that, it would be appreciated. I mean, anything to get us closer to the goal of keeping the room.
It takes a strong relationship and a strong woman, I will say, to be with a wrestler.
It does. Because, I mean,
a lot of trust.
Listen, she says a lot of trust. I witnessed this accidentally. Turned the corner at a show one night. We're outside and everything. And a lot of times you're sitting there in these little makeshift locker room. You don't have any place to use the bathroom. I was always the guy who I'd put my knee braces on, my knee pads, put my boots on. I wouldn't tie them tight. And I would wait. I'd put on a pair of shorts, and I would wait for the absolute last moment to tie the boots up tight and put my wrestling tights on. Because a lot of times you're in makeshift locker rooms. They don't have bathrooms, so you're sneaking out a back door to go somewhere to find some place to hide and use the bathroom. And I walk outside, and there's this guy who is sitting there on the phone with his wife while this woman is bowed down in front of him. And he's just talking to his wife like it's. I turned the corner and see that. I was like, oh, crap. And I turn around and I hear him go, no, it was just him. And I turn around to go find someplace else to go relieve myself. And then and it was just like he's on the phone with his wife while this woman's performing a sexual act on him. And he just acted like it was nothing. Would go home to her like it was nothing. And that's crappy of him. Very. But that's why Ric Flair has had 6 or 7 wives. Carlos, I wrestled so many people who made it. I used to tag with a guy named Carlos too. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, Jeff Jarrett, Brian Christopher, Rikishi, Scotty 2 Hotty, Dusty Rhodes, Sir Mo. Sir Mo was one of my mentors. Big Viscera, El Generico. I called him. He was El Generico when he wrestled with us. Sami Zayn and Kevin Steen. It was a one-night ordeal. I wasn't there the night some of the OVW guys came down, and Cena and Batista was some of them. Came down to your dad's wrestling. I was off wrestling somewhere. Moondog Spot. Moondog Spot, I think, would have to be the biggest one because he did so much and I say that, but in my eyes it was because he mentored me a lot. Yeah. Well, he wrestled in the WWF and then the WWF. And then, little known fact, Moondog Spot and Moondog Rover, I believe it was the first Americans to ever win the South African tag team titles. Like, they was very protective over somebody from out of their country winning the belts. But they carried them. With Sami Zayn and Kevin Steen, or Kevin Owens. Sorry, he was Kevin Steen when he came through with us. Give me 1 second. Oh, give me 1 second. I'll get back to that story. What was this? Oh, yeah. My dad was running a show. It was on a Friday night. And they catch me walking around outside. Hey, Jules. I got on my boots and everything. They stopped me and they said, hey, man. He said, we're just passing through the area. And we noticed there's a wrestling show here. And we're two young wrestlers just trying to get on the card anywhere we can. Can you maybe get us in the back to talk to the promoter? And I was just like, oh, this is great. Listen, I'm the promoter's son. Come inside with me. We actually had a couple guys no show. And we're kind of scrambling around trying to figure out how to fill their spots. I actually had 3 guys that night no show. And they was just like, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And I was like, go ahead and grab your bag. We can make it work. Go grab their bag as they come in. I take them to my dad. I was like, hey, I didn't even know their names. And of course, Kevin introduced himself, Kevin Steen, and Sami Zayn introduced himself as Generico. And he was like, I'm wrestling as El Generico. And they was both very young, just kind of breaking into the business. And it was just by chance. Like they was had 2 years of wrestling experience on them. Jules, I can feel that. It's been a rough week here. Oh yeah, they're best friends, Oh wow, that is awesome, Milton. Sportatorium in Dallas, especially when it was the Von Erich and the Freebirds. Man, that was the height of wrestling in Texas. Ariel, this is kind of we talk about everything, and I'm trying to get some help keeping our hotel room. So it's kind of like it's kind of that situation. Thank you, Christina, for the heart me. I met Michael Hayes a few times. He's a trip. and a half. Of course, he was done wrestling by the time I met him. Thank you, Jules, for the rose. We're still trying to get 25,000 roses. Um, Never got to, I never like physically met Hulk Hogan, but I was very close to Hulk Hogan at one time. And when I say very close to him, I mean like very close to as in like he was maybe 20 foot away from me. Not like we hung out or anything. Um, I used to work at the airport in Dyersburg, and he was on a private plane that was landing to refuel. And the girls got out of the plane to stretch their legs and all that stuff. And he came to the door and hollered at them to get back into the plane. And that was the extent of me meeting Hulk Hogan. Still pretty cool. I went and hid and called Angela. It's like, babe, you remember that? It's like, babe, you're never gonna believe who just landed out here at the airport, and I filled up his plane. He was like, who? And I was like, Hulk Hogan. He went, no, we didn't. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was really excited about that. But as far as like speaking to him, shaking his hand, getting an autograph, something like that, I didn't get that. I didn't get that lucky. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you to who sent that. Appreciate it. Goodness, excuse me. Um, so with that, that puts us at $35. So it puts us still needing 305. Is still a huge number, but we're getting every dollar gets us closer, guys, and this is definitely appreciated. I cannot thank you enough uh, to the ones who have sent. Um, if anybody was in here earlier and seen where the person said that they had something to send me, they have not sent me anything yet. I haven't heard from them since then. So Angela's not feeling all that great this week. She's had a very rough week. It's been a long, rough week on both of us. It really has. But guys, I've got to mute real quick. I'm running to the restroom. If Jesse will watch the door for me, I will be right back.